And what the fuck is up? Welcome to Your Last Resort podcast with your hosts, Brandon LeJean and Dalen Mendoza. It's episode 155, and I am cool as shit. Yeah. Look at me. Look at my glasses. Swag out the ass.
Hey, Brandon, where'd you get those?
Someone, I'd like to imagine, left them as a tip for us after the show last night. They were just left on the table.
I was going to say, that's not how you explained it to me. You stole those from
someone. No. Here's what happened. We told the guy he liked them, and then he left them at the show. And he sat alone, and he left them on the table, and he talked about them at nauseum. So he loved these glasses, so he wouldn't just leave them. He left them to me and Brian as a gift because we showed affinity towards his glasses. And he kept flexing. He was like, dude, these were only $25 on Amazon. I didn't go Oakley, $25, cheap. And we were like, bro, that's baller. So he was probably like, I can afford another pair.
So you think there's just a guy out there that was like, I'm going to do this kind gesture, walk out the door.
He said they were cool because they cover most of your face like most glasses don't, which is not the point of glasses we discussed earlier.
And then he proceeded to tell us that he just lost his job.
Yeah, that was also followed by it. So
that's kind of cool of him, though, if he did. I mean, so you stole glasses from a homeless guy. Is what just happened.
Future homeless guy.
Jesus. All right.
He did say he wasn't from here, so maybe he came here for the panhandling.
He's a transient.
He's a transient?
Yeah,
yes, that's not what I thought you were
got one of the
say.
Roma people, dude.
Roma people?
Yeah, that's like what that's what they call fucking
is it the G word that we're not allowed to say
the
anymore?
Jippos, yeah.
Wow.
Hello, Jippo.
Wow, I've never heard that.
Yeah, we're living in America. We can say that.
That's a new phrase, so it's not racist because you just coined it, but it sounds so racist.
I'm pretty confident they say that as a slur
Someone
over across
said
the pond.
Jippo before?
Yeah, dude. My friend lives in D.C. Shout out Alex. He lives like in the D.C. area. And he's, dude, apparently there's like a bunch of gypsies that live in D.C. I don't know like why specifically. Oh. And he said they come into like, he works at a Starbucks and they come into a Starbucks and they have like Gucci flip-flops and they'll have like no shirt on. Oh. They're like those kinds of people. They like walk in, they'll leave their baby out in front of the store.
Dude, that's just, no. Look, we can respect other cultures, but I want it endangers other people, like babies or even just, dude, going into a store with no shirt or shoes on.
Right. The deal is that a lot of Jippos, they do this dealio where they throw their baby at you so you catch it, and then they steal your money out of your pocket.
Dude, I would defensive slap that baby down. Slap the baby down. Flip the hip.
Yeah, we should start like a self-defense class for like how to defend yourself against a gypsy hustle. Also, if there's not
you stiff arm the baby.
If there's not like a transient rapper named Gypsy Hustle right now, then there needs to be, dude.
Gypsy Hustle would be a baller ass
Gypsy Hustle.
Name.
I'm gonna.
We're gonna teach the baby thing like how you teach to avoid a cut block in football. Just turn, push the head into the ground, flip your hips.
Yeah.
You know, the baby. It's like the baby it goes from quarterback to running back. It's not protected anymore. It's an object in motion, and you can hit it wherever you want.
Yeah.
Equal rights in the equal playing field of.
Yeah, it's not a defenseless receiver but only if it's a gypsy baby.
Yeah. You throw any other ethnicity baby at
I'm catching the fuck out of that.
You gotta
baby,
catch
dude.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because probably the person who threw the baby at you is just probably on drugs. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if that's better or worse.
Catching a crack baby?
At least they won't steal my money.
They still might. If they're on drugs, they might just learn from the gypsies.
Yeah, why are they throwing? What if they just want me to hold the baby while they go shoot up? What would you do if a homeless person, ready? All right, so I'm going to be a homeless person. And you, okay. All right. Hello there, mister. And imagine I have my shirt off, and I'm not going to take it off, but I'm full-blown.
Are you man or woman?
I'm a gypsy man, but, you know, that's how I imagine their voices. And I've never met one. So I'm like, hello there. Man, can you hold here? Take my baby while I go shoot up heroin. I will be right back.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Just don't mind me.
Yeah, do your thing.
And then what are you gonna do though if he comes back like fucked up? You're just gonna give him back the baby.
Here you go, bro. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's how you're gonna handle a gypsy.
You know what, bro? I'm just doing things that. I don't try and put like too much moral stress on me. I just do as I wished, you know.
Okay.
So I'm doing someone a solid by doing a favor for them. If that favor means holding their baby while they get high and give it right back, morally, I still feel good about myself. I did something good. You know?
You wouldn't try. I would try. I would be like, they'd come back for the baby, and I'd be like, I need $10. I would start bartering with, maybe get a dick suck out of the guy.
So you're suggesting that I take someone's baby and hold it for ransom?
Dude, it's called capitalism. Welcome to America, bitch.
I'm taking a heroin addict's baby.
Dude,
and
if they're
holding
gonna
it
put
ransom.
their culture on us, I'm gonna put
Okay.
mine on theirs. Capitalism, bitch.
That's
I'm gonna-
fair. Okay,
Capitalism,
that is
bitch.
fair. Yeah.
I'm gonna make him answer a riddle.
Yes, that's a good idea too. A
Like
riddle.
it-
Oh, that's fun. All right, Brian. So yours is like
Like
yours
when they're
is
drunk,
fun.
you answer a math
Oh,
problem.
I'm like
If you're high, you gotta
I'm like
answer
old
a riddle.
Mr. Stillskin. You know what I'm saying?
What riddle would you say to them?
I don't know any riddles.
I would.
What's
you know,
green, blue, and red? And they're gonna be like, "What?" And I'm gonna be like, "I don't know either."
Yeah, but they're so confused that you make them feel stupid.
We can hit 'em.
Yeah.
We hit them with the what's green and red and moves 110 miles per hour backwards.
A fucking gypsy.
All right.
Okay.
A frog in a blender.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom used to say that to me.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
That's
good.
more of like a dead baby joke. You remember those? Where it's
No.
like, what's like red all over and makes you happy, or like they would, and then they'd
No,
be like,
that's a riddle.
dead baby.
Yeah.
That's not a riddle. That's like a weird joke.
Well, what's I don't know. That's actually the only.
I
riddle.
remember
Brian,
there's-
could you look up some riddles for us?
Yeah.
And let's see if we can
I know
solve
there's
some riddles.
I know there's one that's like about like what is something that grows every year but is not alive.
And you immediately want to say your penis.
Okay. But your penis
least
is
I do.
alive. Your
Yeah.
penis is alive.
That grows every year but isn't alive. The
Yeah.
national debt.
Okay. All right. That's
Is that-
that's a great answer.
That's a good answer.
It
That
is-
seems like a.
it is a mountain, but
Mountains grow.
mountains grow, yeah.
Don't they get smaller too though? They erode.
Sometimes.
That's growing. I
sometimes.
guess yeah.
Depending on like where they are, like
Shrinking.
I don't know if they're shrinking. I think that they're getting like enveloped by the sea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like when mountains start going down, it's not because they're like breaking apart. Usually, it's because water is the sea levels are rising in that area.
Oh. Do you think we get a geologist on this podcast? to
Don't
further
worry,
explain?
I got you guys.
Maybe.
Okay, cool. Ryan, we could get Cam Patterson on. He loves rocks. We could get-
he could, yeah.
Yeah.
Me and him had like a legit 20-minute conversation about because I had not heard any of this rock stuff.
yeah, shout
And
out
he
Cam
was-
Patterson.
Great guy, love him. And we were in the green room right there, and he was talking to Mason about rocks, and I was like, dude, and he was like, they're just smooth. I just like how they feel, and I was like, I used to put them in my mouth as a kid all the time, and I thought, I thought he was about to be like, dude, me too. Like we get it. He was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No, that's a
right.
crazy thing to say. You're an insane person.
I mean, but then we talked about it, and we were like, what kind of rocks, do you like the feeling of? And we got it down to like a couple. He likes the smooth but porous ones.
I like
still.
igneous rocks.
Igneous is like
The
he was like
volcanic
smooth
ones?
Igneous, yeah.
They have the little holes. I
Mm-hmm.
used to have two pet rocks.
And they were both those.
No, one was an igneous rock. His name was Lavi.
Okay.
And then I had like a rock that was probably just, I don't know, it was a gray rock, but it was a
Yeah.
perfect triangle, and his name was Cheddar. And I would bring them
Cheddar.
around with me in a backpack and shit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was kind of weird.
It's
I'm
okay.
still am very weird, but
I
I've
don't think,
contained it.
Yeah, I think now though, like when I meet people that didn't do anything weird as a kid, they're either lying or they are weird.
Yeah, they're now, because all of us have probably, have some weird kid
Yes,
stuff. When you're about the
everyone
kid,
does.
it's like, every day I wash the carpet and I read from the Bible.
Right.
You're like, oh man, he's going to shoot up the Bellagio
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Exactly. Like kids that they were like, oh, I'm cool. Like I was never weird as a kid. Like, okay, sorry, dude, you didn't put gravel in your mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
girl, you didn't
You were
snort
I was
rocks.
5.
You weren't curious about anything.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, you're actually the weirdest one here.
Yeah.
You don't have anything going on in your brain.
You were a 5-year-old. You thought you had it all figured out. Stop.
Exactly. Yeah. Or they had 2 loving parents, and maybe that's just what it was.
That
No, see,
is-
I don't think it's loving parents. I think it's super controlling weird parents that
Right.
say like, you can't do that. That's the devil, and they're like
Right.
scared of everything.
Yeah, I don't think my mom like discouraged me from putting rocks in my mouth. I don't think she knew.
Shit, what about rocks up your butt? Is that where she drew the line? She was like, you can put rocks in your mouth, but no son of mine will stick rocks in his ass.
She's like, that's my thing, David.
I'd hope she would step in. If I started shoving rocks up my ass, I hope my mother, she's a good mom, I hope she'd step
You're
in
just
and
walking
stop
around like with change in your pocket. Like, what's that shaking?
My ass cheeks are just fucking.
You mean this little thing? It is the little fucking Moroccan
dude,
shake.
I sound like a rattlesnake. What's up, rattlesnake?
What's up, rattlesnake?
What's up,
We'll get
rattlesnake?
you little snake bites, the piercings too.
That's like a cool trailer park kid.
Dude, get your whole neck tattooed in like snake scale too, so your neck looks like a snake.
Your dad gave you a prison nickname?
What's up, rattlesnake? Why you call him rattlesnake? He always got rocks in his butt. I don't know why my dad is now just a black dude, but it's cool.
Well, I mean, he went in a Mexican dude or a Hispanic man and came out a white supremacist. So,
I know.
I
don't know how that works.
It's not that unimaginable.
Kids,
You're
you
right.
can be anything you want to be.
Yeah, dude, my dad's like,
Prison taught me one thing. It's you can be whatever you want to be, kids.
if anything, dude, prison is the most like progressive place because you can be trans as a man or woman, and you can also be transracial too.
That is true.
Yeah.
What a progressive
You
place.
can no, it really is, dude. Like it's all merit based.
I've always wondered this. Do you think anyone's ever committed a crime that's like in the closet to go to prison on purpose?
Dude,
Wait.
I've heard.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think Chris DiStefano's has like he does his podcast.
TT Jerry?
TT Jerry, I think, has said something about that. Like there's gay dudes that just like go to get locked up for a little bit and get crazy dick for like 6 months and then come out.
Yeah, and pretend it never happened.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. He's just beating the shit out of someone. He's like, why are you assaulting me? He's like, for vacation, bitch.
It's my fantasy.
I love taking naps here.
Yeah. I mean, dude, could you imagine just being a gay dude that's like so closeted and then you get to go to prison and first day there's just a guy like Big John walked up to you and he's like, come here, bitch.
Yeah. He's like, what's up, bitch? And you're like, no, I'm willing.
Yeah. Oh my God. But I don't know though.
Did I drop my pocket?
I've heard and read that like 90% of prison sex is like consensual, but still part of me believes that like there's guys in there that like don't want it easy.
No,
Well, that's
well,
a
of
tough
course, that's the
10%.
10%.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's 1,000 people in prison, there's 100 getting raped. That's still a lot of fucking people, dude. That's a lot of people.
I said that the other day. I found out
Too
this.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, percents are misleading. You're like, dude, 90%, that's great. It's like, hey, that's still a
simply
lot of people.
I found out this fact the other day that only 7% of the world is over 6 feet tall. And I'm like telling my friend, I'm like, you should feel special. And he's like, bro, that's like 40 million people. And I was like, all right.
I guess it is the same.
All right.
Still, though, I would not have thought. I didn't realize. I guess a lot of countries have short
There are
people.
many winnies out there. Like you've been across the world, bro.
I know, yeah.
You were huge in South Korea, right?
Yeah, and I was pretty big in London too, and everywhere I went, I was big.
Yeah.
So I wonder, what is it? Is it something in the food we eat? Because are we like freaks, Brian? Are we bad? Like, is that why our body hurts and we're sad and stuff? Because we're genetic freaks? I don't know.
Some of us, yeah, but I also think it's like the values of America. Like French people, they value like, being smelly and like, letting them do their own thing. They're laissez-faire.
Yeah.
Cheese,
they want to be able to do their own
baguettes.
thing. Like they'll fuck some people with like bad hygiene and like, you don't have to be that pretty.
But what is tall?
Like, you don't have to be a good guy.
Tall's an evolutionary thing.
I mean,
Why are we taller? You know what I mean? I mean, it's probably that Pangea bullshit where we descended from the same area as like Holland and other and those areas. That's why I'm as pale as them. And we were tall because we had to fight the big sloths.
Bro,
the giant sloths.
I know
woolly
everyone
mammoths.
says that it's like genetics, but both my parents are short. I swear to God, it's milk and vegetables. I drank so much milk and ate so many vegetables growing up. That's
willed
why I
yourself
feel like
into
I
it?
turned out giant.
Yeah. I'm pretty, my parents, my mom's 5'8", which is tall for a woman, but my dad is 5'7", so.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro. Same thing. My mom is 5'8". My dad's 5'8", but
It's kind of fun.
yeah.
Most people
So
though
almost
are
the
pretty.
exact thing.
It's kind of funny. All three of us are much taller than most of our family, but most people, it's pretty indicative. Their parents are short. They're short. Their parents are tall. Because like my buddy has a kid, and the kid's like 4 now. And we're talking about, he's like, dude, he's going to be a short kid. And I was like, for real? And then I was like, oh, you're 5'7", and your baby mom is 5'2". Of course he's going to be tiny as fuck.
Yeah,
and then I got like
that's a
sad
tough
for the kid.
one.
I was like, damn, he better get into like repairing cars or the trombone real fucking quick.
Gymnastics, ice skating,
Gymnastics.
Hey, jockey. There's some positives.
We
about
do
being
have
small.
wars coming. We're going to need little people to go down in holes and trenches.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I thought you were going to say something
No,
on
I
that.
was. I seen something about Vietnam the other day.
Yeah, what are they
had to do
called?
that.
God, they have a funny name. Like they're named
Yeah.
after an animal, like
Yo,
something.
Dale, you're
like
good at
rabbits
doing
or
this.
something. I think.
You're,
Yeah,
you're
they're
good at
called-
like making up names. This is your opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
would be a
called-
mole for sure then.
Bro, only
people?
Mole
7% of those people lived. Like they would go in there. There was like spikes in the tunnels with pee on them.
And they
for
would throw bombs in
infection,
there and
bombs,
shit.
And they would
sliders,
basically crawl in with like a knife or like a flashlight and an M911 pistol.
yeah,
And that's
that's
like,
all they had.
That's so badass.
all they had. And there was like, I was watching about like a famous guy who was like 5'1", and he was the best at it. And he had like over 100 confirmed like kills in there
Yeah.
and like 10 missions. And it wasn't quick. You would go down there for an hour sometimes because they had already fought a war. I didn't know this. Vietnam had just fought a war recently against some other country. So I think honestly
like their
Japan,
independence probably,
and so
yeah.
and so they had already built tunnels. So when the war started with the U.S., they were like, we'll just add on. So they had 100-mile tunnels.
Wow.
With booby traps and different paths and, systems, tripwires to make them collapse on you.
And some white dude from Delaware just had to go down.
Yeah, that's what they said. The guy was from like Kansas. And he's like,
Oh
I'll go
my
down and get him, brother.
Yeah.
I'll go
That's
drag
like
him out.
that's like the one time I'd be so happy to be as large as I am.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you can't do it.
War,
Thank
wars
God.
sometimes. I think wars. Would you rather be small or big in war? I think being big
Small.
is probably the best.
No.
I know you're a big target, but like you don't have to do that shit.
Yeah, you want to be like 5'7".
And like also, if you're hand to hand, like I'd rather be big, dude.
That's true.
Not that hand to hand really.
I'm just
happens
worried that
often.
me and Brian are going to get up in the morning and get our heads blown off from popping out the trench.
Yeah,
Step
exactly.
up,
Oh,
boom.
dude, fuck.
Oh, Brandon,
Brian,
look
no.
at the sun. It's so,
Yeah, that sucks.
Uh-huh.
Also, if you're little too, like a lot of like war of attrition doesn't affect you as much if you're little
You
because
can
like
eat less.
you can eat less, you don't need as much water.
I-
Shorter people are generally like more energized. I feel like
Totally.
I
have a thing about. I actually had a war topic down since we're on.
Okay.
It. I heard about this thing today called the PALS battalions. Are you guys familiar with this in the UK?
the PALs,
Yeah. So
PALs.
PAL. So in World War I and II, they didn't have a lot of soldiers going like to enlist at first, especially after the First World War, because people were like, "Fuck that," and they needed people to get in. So they started doing this thing to get people to enlist called PALS battalions. So we basically could take all of the male comedians and join together, and they would make us a unit. So football teams, like soccer teams,
Yeah.
would go and join, and
together.
cities would join in town and all this stuff, which was sick. But the problem was it was such a bloody war that sometimes all the men would join from a town and then they would get wiped out in a battle, and then that town would have no men ever again, and the town would get abandoned. All the women would just have to go remarry in another town and leave.
Damn.
So it wiped out whole like town lineages, like ended towns that had been there,
Yeah.
for hundreds of years.
That's so funny because because on paper that sounds like the best idea.
They
Because then you
said
get all your guys. The camaraderie is so good with them. Like they already are down to like fight for each other.
They said it tripled the enrollment in 1 month.
Yeah, I would.
Because everyone was like, because also, I mean, your
Yeah.
country is getting bombed and invaded. Like, I would never go to war, but I like to think, I mean, even at maybe this age at 26, like being like, hey, our country's getting attacked, I should probably go defend it. I get that, especially
if all
back
of
then.
my friends were going, I'd have to go. What else am I gonna do?
Oh, I'm gonna wait till they get here, then I'll fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
make like helmets in the factory with the other bitches and chill out.
Also, you just stay home. You so much pussy.
So much puss. So much puss.
If you were home in World War II and just a handsome guy, you
Yeah.
were probably slaying.
But also, there's the same side of like, what are you doing here? Like, you're a bitch.
Right.
You know
but,
what I'm saying?
Totally.
No, but you got to like come up with something. You got to come up with a quick one.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's 1940.
yeah.
There's no internet. I could just be
Yeah.
like, I wanted to, but they said my heart's too big and my dick was too large.
Yeah.
That it was gonna make other soldiers suicidal.
Yeah.
So they had me stay home for morale. And they're like,
Army
oh, my
code
stars.
552.
You're gonna trip over your penis.
I think also back then, if I buy you a milkshake, you like legally have to bang me in the 1940s.
We're going to the malt shop, babe.
Yeah, those were the rules back then, right?
Yeah, and you let her pick the malt, and she's like, okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
all right, I have to.
Yeah.
He just spent a nickel.
Charlie, I'm sorry. He let me choose my own malt. You're like, okay.
Who the fuck is this
I
guy?
lost my leg in battle. Well, Brandon, he has both legs and lets me get whatever malt I want. You never let me choose my malt. And then he hits his wife because now it's only 1948 and that's still cool. And we pretend that didn't happen back then.
Dude, I've
Right.
been hearing this thing about, have you guys ever heard the term hoflation?
I'm excited.
Kind of, but not really.
Hoflation is basically the idea that our grandfathers put in a quarter of the work to get women that were 20 times as good as the women that we have to put 10 times as much effort into getting, and
You're
they're
going
like
to have
20.
to start this over again.
Yes,
I'm confused
Dale.
already.
I also listen to Fresh and Fit. I know.
Okay. I was going through like the YouTube shorts, and dude, YouTube shorts seems very aggressive.
I want to know what's going on. Explain it to me.
Basically, the idea is that like now women are trash.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying.
Like, as in trashy or trash looking?
Like trashy, like like the
Because you can kiss my ass if you think the hottest woman from 1950 holds a feather up to a 7 in today's times.
That's a good point.
Women have evolved.
So
bro.
you're saying like maybe the hoflation is the other way around.
Yes, I would
like-
argue
like
it's the other way. Oh, what?
Technology has advanced so much, and women are hotter.
But it's exactly our grant. We still have to pay homage to the ones before us because
Yeah.
they're the one small step for man, one large step for mankind. Like they did that where they treated women like nicer, and I guess I don't know how they did that to us.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, because if you're saying they made trashy women, I think that what they're saying is trashy women is they made women who will just bang you and then not call you. And I guarantee you that's why our forefathers fought in World War II.
Yeah.
Was for that to happen.
I just think with women, it's a different time now because back in the day, when you grew up in a town, those were the people you chose from.
Yeah, now you got an
Yeah.
app.
Now it's like, women from small
Anywhere.
town Nebraska are going on yachts.
Dude, Lady
pretty
Antebellum
cool.
was never flown out for a pussy weekend in Phoenix, Arizona, and flown back. That's
yeah,
just.
yeah.
Is that a band?
Yeah.
Who did I say?
Jane Eyre never got a
Who did I say?
BBL.
Lady Antebellum.
Lady Antebellum. Yeah, I don't know. I just picked the old sounding name.
Okay, I was like, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
that's
for a
country
minute too,
band.
I was like, is that a person?
Here's the thing. I think the band might be named after a famous. Can you look up Lady Antebellum, Brian, and see what comes up, please?
Yeah, one sec. You guys want to try to answer a riddle?
Oh yes, I forgot about the riddles.
By the way,
Okay.
these are called easy riddles. I'm trying to read them. I would not get any
Also,
of them.
sorry to anyone listening. I'm sure you can faintly hear EDM bass in the background. Can you hear that if we're quiet?
No. Now you can. Yeah.
Okay, as long as we're talking. But yeah, the place next to us is bumping. Go
All
watch
right.
Shane Gillis' special.
You guys
He'll
ready?
explain it.
3:30.
What 5-letter word typed in all capital letters can be read the same upside down?
Oh man.
Once again, easy riddles.
Okay, wait. What 5-letter word?
What 5-letter word?
Is it a real word or is it
Yeah,
like?
it's a real word.
Okay, it's a real word.
What 5-letter word typed in all capital letters can be read the same upside down?
Okay, so it has to be an I. Maybe is an important letter. That's the same up and down. Maybe
H.
M's and
W's.
H's.
O's.
M's and W's could be like maybe they're flipped where it works out. No,
I'll
it
tell you
doesn't.
right now, you
Wow.
got 3 of them. No H, but you got
Oh, it's
3
5.
of the letters.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
wow, but
No.
I mean it would, but it's not. It's 5
Then it would
letters.
make mom if it was flipped
I don't know.
upside
All
down.
right, I don't think we're gonna
Okay.
get it. What is it?
Swims.
Swims. Ah, see, we were right
If
with
you
the
turn
and
it
the
upside
S.
down, yeah.
Oh.
All right, one more. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
I fucking heard this one before and I can't remember it. The more you take, the more you leave behind.
Think about the
Time.
sand. Think about sand.
Sand. The more
It's not time. The more time you take, the more time you leave behind.
No, this guy over here
It's
trying
an
to be
hourglass?
Socrates, you know.
An hourglass.
Footsteps.
The more you take.
So I said sand. You can like see footsteps. You know?
All right, give us one more.
All right.
This is fun.
David's father has 3 sons: Snap, Crackle, and
Pop.
David.
Say it again.
David's father has 3 sons: Snap.
Oh, I thought you said David has
Yeah,
three
yeah.
sons.
Oh, that's
Damn
a
it.
trick.
That's a
They
little brain
tricked us.
teaser. Yeah, I couldn't wait to do that
They
one on you
tricked
guys.
us.
Yeah. What is more useful when it's broken?
What is more useful when it's broken? A toothbrush, because then you can use it as a shiv to stab your cellmate. If that's what it says, word for word.
That's up for debate. That's up
Actually,
for
Brandon,
debate.
I can't believe you got that one right.
Word for word. Look at me. Yeah. Do you have a guess? Because it's definitely not a shiv.
What's the
No,
works?
it says shiv.
Oh, really?
No, it says egg.
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 Egg. I was like, for real? Well, since we just look stupid, we'll go further into making me look stupid. We all know how I'm very bad with sayings, such as I thought it was soil your oats instead of sow your oats. I
Yeah.
thought it was live, bi-curiously instead of vicariously.
Vicariously. Live vicariously.
That was so funny. You were just a young kid, like, yeah, everyone should just try it.
Yeah, that's my thought is like to live vicariously. I'm like, oh, Brian's getting eaten. I'm like, ooh, I'm being Brian. I've never been Brian before. I don't know. It makes sense in
So
my
you'd
mind.
see someone eat like a nice pizza, and you're like, dude, I'm just living vicariously through you.
Yeah. Because you're kind of doing it, kind of not.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one that I didn't. No, I thought it was called squelching on a bet.
Instead of welching.
It's welching on a bet. Squelch is like a yell, like a noise.
It's like a pig sound.
Like, look up what the definition of squelch, because it's so not.
It's like a screech and a yelp.
Yes. Oh shit. Who's FaceTiming me? Oh, whatever. It's Galen. Don't answer it. Just mute. Hit the mute noise so that. Yeah, there you go. Dude. Yeah. So I really thought it was that, and I was like, Erico, it's when you squelch on a bet, right? And she was like, I think that's a noise. I'm like, nah, but it's also when you bail on a bet. And she's like, I think it's a noise. And I'm like, well, maybe you like people gasp when you go back on the bet.
Every time you're wrong on these, it just sounds like you're speaking in like Shakespearean.
Yeah. Well,
He
I thought all
squelched on a bet.
I thought all these sayings are from like Roman times and shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that people.
Romeo soiled his oats.
Yeah, I didn't know that these were sayings. I probably don't. I bet
These to me,
What are they called? Colloquialisms?
something like that.
Something like
I
that.
don't actually know that term.
I don't know, because I feel like if there was a way to find a list of all of these things,
Yeah.
you would be like, wow, you don't know any of these.
Right. I think a lot of them are like Southern too. So maybe they're just not connecting because we're not from the South, you know?
Well, yeah. What is it? The nip it in the bud or nip it in the butt?
Yep.
I don't.
Nip it in the bud. It's like when you cut a rosebud.
Yeah, but I always thought it was
Yeah.
nip it in the butt.
That
One's way more reasonable.
That
Everyone
one's
thinks
reasonable.
that one. The other ones I don't have a lot of defense on. I'm trying to think of
Bite. It's like biting at the chomp or
chomping at the bite.
chomping
at
at
the bit.
chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you got a
Because
bit.
you're like a horse that's chomping on its like its
Bit.
bit piece that you do that.
Yeah.
I
And
think
you're
that's what it
anxious
is.
like a horse. Hung like a horse.
Did you guys know Lady Antebellum had to change their name?
Because, why?
Because it's racist.
Oh, because the
right.
antebellum
So I
parties?
guess antebellum,
this.
refers to an era in American South before the Civil War when black people were held as slaves.
Okay,
So they changed it to Lady A, but
Yeah.
there already is a Lady A, so now she's suing them.
Oh, damn. The
Yeah.
antebellums are fucked right now, dude.
Lady Antebellum, and that what's their most popular song? It's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't
Is
get
it the
out.
Royal song? You could never be royal. Is that them?
No, that's Lord.
Lord. Oh, shit. Another stupid old-timey name. Lord,
Let me
Lady
look that up.
Antebellum. Both start with L's.
Lady Antebellum. Just look up their like most popular song.
It's
like,
got we probably know it.
Yeah, I have it on my phone, dude. I ripped that song. It's like kind of like a saddish, like country-ish.
What if I never get over American Honey?
Nope.
Never heard of him.
Dancing Away with My something. Need to Know. Downtown.
Need to Know.
I don't think I know an Need
to Know.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever listened to Lady Antebellum. Just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, Need to Know is a good song. That's like a cry like to yourself in the car on the freeway kind of.
You think they're better than Adele?
No.
I think you should be able to.
I just want to make sure I respect you still.
Yeah.
I think you should be able to sue someone if they give you spoilers for a TV show.
Okay.
That's criminal. I get there's a
And,
window, but if the shows came out within the last year and you purposely give a spoiler, you're a piece of shit.
Right. And what would be like is it mental trauma? Is it...
Well, because it fucks the show for you. I don't know. Jordan, who was just on this podcast, I don't remember if you remember this, but we were drunk, and he was like, have you watched Barry yet? And I was like, no. And it ended like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was waiting for Erica. She decided that we were never going to watch it, so I'm going to watch it by myself. I was like, I literally just finished it. A week after he left, I started it. But I was like, hey, I'm about to start. He's like, nah, you're never going to watch it. And I was like, dude, I am. And he goes, nah, you know what? You've took too long. And then he just told me what happens to one of the characters, the main characters. And I was like, why did you do that? And he was like, because you haven't watched it yet. That's your fault.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should either be able to shoot him in the knee with a pistol.
Okay.
Or he should have to do 180 days in jail, but he can do the work release program like KCP.
Okay. I see where you're coming from. Unfortunately, as a lawyer myself, as a man of law.
Yeah. Squire.
As a squire of law.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know.
Actually, I think it's Esquire.
I think you just have to keep it outside of the realm of the law.
No, it's definitely Esquire.
No, it's Squire.
No, Squire is the person who helps a knight. James
Yeah.
McGill Esquire is what a lawyer is.
okay.
Oh, I was thinking that you're saying I'm a squire
That's
of
what I
law.
thought he was doing
No,
too.
no,
Like I'm
yeah, I
like
did
a
the
youngin'
thing.
in the
I
law.
remember
That's
the
why I
thing we
laughed,
just.
though. Like,
Yeah,
that's funny.
yeah.
Remember
I'm
the
a
thing we
squire
just
of law.
talked about where I say the wrong thing? Did it right now.
Yeah,
I
that's
meant,
why I laughed too. Yeah.
I meant to say Esquire because you said you were a lawyer.
Dude, we don't know shit about fuck. Dude.
Yeah, I don't know fuck about shit.
We gotta
dude.
rename this podcast.
I mean, I
don't
could
know
tell-
shit about fuck.
I don't know shit about fuck, but I could tell you about fuck. you know?
Yeah, exactly. I can tell you about fuck, but I have no fucking clue about shit. We should start. That should be the opening. Just a song. It's like we don't know shit about fuck.
We'll never get helped by the algorithm on YouTube when they'll play the first 30 seconds and we're just saying shit and fuck.
The opening scene.
Yeah.
What's up, boys? We don't know shit about fuck.
You little chomo.
Yeah. Woo! What do you all talk about, man? Fuck. I don't know. Shit. What you got?
Yeah, so what the fuck were we talking about? Yeah, I just don't like when people spoil stuff.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think, unfortunately, you can't sue them, but I do like the idea of like a street law of just being like, you can punch them.
Trial by combat, yeah.
Trial by combat. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you get like a free like Ric Flair, woo,
Yeah,
to the chest.
yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
I think we're doing too much about like we're trying to involve the man too much.
Well, let me
in
ask you
our
this then.
squabbles.
So what's the certain amount of time where you can spoil something for someone? Do you
I
give
said
them
a year.
6 months? A year?
A year.
Year.
That's tough.
6
But
months.
here's
I
the
understand.
thing. He also could have just not told me it. It was so
was
easy
a
for
week.
him to not look at me and tell me what happens to a main character in the show. He could go talk about it to the 10 other friends he has that have seen the show. It was strictly a vindictive, evil, dickhead
Yeah.
move.
All
is
right,
my problem with it.
but as the squire of law here, I have to tell you, he does have freedom of speech.
Yeah, he does have
He
freedom
does
of
have
speech.
freedom of speech, but you also have the freedom to knock him the fuck
Yeah,
out.
I have right to defend. That's stand my ground law
That is
right
stand-
there.
well, yeah, we live
Here's
in
the
Texas,
thing.
dude.
I already know what I'm gonna do.
He was at our house, dude. You could have just beat the shit out of him.
I didn't invite you in here. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Smoked his ass.
That's a cool little trick you can pull. Like, if you really just want to, like, kill someone,
Tell
you
someone
know?
in person, hey, come over tonight at like 10. The door will be unlocked. And
Exactly.
and then you have there's no textual
Yeah.
proof that it happened. They pull up, boom, open the door. Bang, 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 bang,
Right.
bang, 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 bang.
They're like vampires. Like, if you invite them in, then you can't shoot them. But if you didn't, die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm going to do to him. This is going to be something that might be years in the
Okay.
making. I am going to wait till I find that he just loves the show.
Yeah.
Like loves a show.
Yeah.
He can't stop talking about it. It's one of the greatest shows. And when I find out that the final season is airing, there are websites that have all the spoilers of what's going to happen because
Leaks
they
and
leak
stuff,
early
yeah,
and they exist. I am going to find the spoilers and I am going to send all of them to him, like so that his shit is ruined, and his favorite show gets ruined.
Does he listen to your show recommendations? Like, have you ever recommended something? He watches it and goes, I love this show. This is great.
Yeah, the problem is he watches a lot of TV, so it's normally the other way around, where he recommends a show to me. Or, he's the guy that every week is watching it live as it drops on Apple TV the minute it comes out. Like, he's one of those, He just has a normal 9-to-5 job and, like, doesn't have a girlfriend right now. So you got all the time is yours, so he's just running through shows and stuff. But he gets like mad. He truly gets mad at the group when they haven't watched a show, and he'll do that. He'll just be like, "Well, I'm gonna spoil it since you guys haven't watched it." And like, I don't know what his thought is, like that it will make us want to watch it. Because then I almost didn't watch Barry because he spoiled what happened, and I was kind of like,
it sounds like there's the only thing you can do is physical contact. There's the only punishment truly you can make on him now is physical.
I also like that. That's his strategy to be like, my friends will like me more if I spoil this.
No, yeah, it's an evil move. It made me so upset, and I texted him about it when I finished, and he had no remorse. He was just like, you didn't see it coming? And I was like, sure, I mean, yeah, you could see what happens coming, but I also was ready for it because you fucking told me what happened, you asshole.
Yeah.
Because you were mad that I hadn't watched it yet.
See, we just got to simplify life a little bit. That's a bonk.
Yeah. Boop, boop. 1 week in a gulag.
Yeah.
Teach you, you
teach him a lesson. Teach him a lesson, dude. What would you have done if you were 5 and your younger sister did that?
I would have broke a game board on her head.
There you go.
I would have picked up Sorry and smashed it on her head.
Exactly. Ironic, but yeah.
You should pull the Barry and like sneak into his house and like take photos of him and just like move stuff around.
I've thought about doing it. Here's the thing. I'm going to have,
right? Yeah.
I don't forget things. So I'm going to have an opportunity where I feel like it's equally, I can fuck him over, and I will jump at it the second that I can. I just don't know what it is yet.
It is funny because you really are like that. Like, you're one of the few people I've met that like you'll say that, but you do mean it.
Oh, I hold
I didn't
grudges.
know like that was real. Like,
I'm a very nice person unless you cross me. Then you're dead to me.
You sound like a ratchet white girl in middle school.
I am. Deep down, I'm a ratchet white girl. That's all. I put these pit vipers on and they change me, man.
I'm a nice girl until you cross me, you're dead.
The best thing Brandon's ever said is when his sister bought him that shirt and he had to get it returned and they wouldn't let him, and he just kept going, this is unacceptable.
Dude, shout out Bill Burr.
I sat there amazed. I was like, you could do that?
Yeah,
I was like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. The same revelation you had. I'll never forget. Bill Burr on the Monday morning podcast was just talking about how unacceptable is the perfect word to use because there's no cursing, there's no aggression, but it clearly is like you have to fix this problem or else, kind of in the most polite way. Just being like, this is unacceptable.
It is a powerful word. You're right, because like what there's no. It is so funny. It's an illusion that it's unacceptable. All right, sorry.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Like, okay, I understand it may not be acceptable to you, but it's what it is. But you works, you're right.
It works way better in person. Oh, like the robots definitely help defeat that a little.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you're telling me Amazon's a
fucking shell company.
Yeah, because you just keep being like, this is unacceptable. And we're like, we're sorry. We're connecting you with Chatbot 3000. He'll help you.
Dude, I ran into one like lady the other day that was like, I was trying to return headphones. I often buy, like 5.
You do the buy and return thing.
I do the buy and return thing because you can't try them on anymore, and it's kind of like my way of like spiting against that. Like there's no stores I can go try headphones on really.
And listen, they don't do that because they're nice. They do it because people are dumb and lazy and will forget to return it, and then you're stuck with it.
Exactly, but I don't. I return it because I'm poor, and I've always felt I'm against the man when it comes to businesses.
Yes.
So I'll return it, and then this lady was like, I tried to return it at the UPS store because that's normally how you do it. But then they were telling me, they're like, no, you have to wait for someone to come pick it up. And I was like, but I'm here. I'm at the store. Don't send anyone. I'm already here.
Yeah.
And then I had to get on the phone and talk to someone from Amazon for 45 minutes. And she did, honestly, great job. Like, we were playing a chess game, really. Because I knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
She was just basically like, she wasn't going to budge.
Mm-hmm.
But she would put me on hold for 5 minutes at a time and then be like, okay, I'm just letting you know I'm checking in. I am working on this for you. I appreciate your patience. I am working on this. And then she would just put the phone back down, and she's like fucking doing whatever with her life. She's getting paid for this job.
Yeah.
So she's basically using me as like a 50-minute like part of her day.
How expensive were these headphones?
They were $100. I'll fight to the death if it's 40, dude. I don't care.
Dude, what the fuck? We're poor. I'm not gonna sit here and just eat $40 worth of headphones. What the fuck? Dr. Moneybags back there.
What was wrong with the headphones?
I just didn't like them. I just didn't like them. I liked another pair better.
He
What's
got
wrong with that?
multiple pairs to try them out, and then there's like a 20-day return policy.
I'm playing within the rules, like 100%. I'm playing within the rules that they made, and they're making it. They purposely make it difficult for you to, and that's when I get mad. Because they're trying to take advantage of me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that with TSA Clear. So the other day...
TSA Clear?
Okay, so the other day I was flying out of the airport, and there was like a pretty long line when I got to the airport for like checking your bags, waiting for the kiosk to print it out. And there's a line. And then when you kind of got to the front of the line, because there was a line on the other side, because there's like 12 kiosks, 4 rows of 3. Sure. When you get to the other side, it kind of becomes a free-for-all of you see an open one, you go get it. And so there's like this girl standing at one and a guy like a foot behind her, and one opens up and I start to go to it and someone from the other line takes it, and then I stand next to the guy, and the guy looks at me and goes, "Oh, you think you could just fucking cut, mate?" And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Oh, you think you could?" And he has like the Australians get like the twisted up face that they got. He's like, "Oh, you think you could fucking cut?" And I was like, "All right, man." I go, "I didn't cut. I was waiting." And he goes, No, you fucking cut." And I go, "Dog, I was right behind you. You were so close to this girl. I thought that you were with her." And he goes, "Oh, you think you could just cut?" And I go, "Hey, man." And I was like pretty calm because it was super early, and it was like it's like 6 in the morning. I just looked and I go, "Hey, just because it's early and you're cranky doesn't mean you have to act like this."
Yeah.
And that made him so mad. He just started. He was like, and then he went up, and then I went and got my thing, and then we're walking towards security, and the line's long for security.
By the way, I hate to interrupt. How good did that feel to say that to that guy?
So good. Because I normally am an angry person who would have been like, "Hey, fuck you, you cunt."
Right.
But I just hit him with kindness because I kind of ignored him. I almost was just like, whatever. And then when he said that, I was like, "You don't got to be grumpy." And I could tell, I was like, "You don't got to act like a baby."
Yeah.
And I could just tell that made him so mad.
That
and
he
then,
realized, like, fuck, I am being a little bitch. Fuck.
yeah.
And then, he can't back down at that point.
No, so then he goes and gets in line. I see him like what's funny is I end up getting in front of him to check the bag anyway. Yeah. So he's behind me in line now to check the bag. And I go up and I check the bag, and then I'm walking over and some dude is just like, "My man." And I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Do you want to get TSA Clear free for like 2 weeks?" And I was like, "Yeah, what do I got to do?" And he's like, "You just got to sign up." He goes, "And as long as you cancel it before 2 weeks, you're good. They're just banking on the fact you won't cancel it. Mm-hmm. So just set a reminder." I was like, "Okay, word." So I sign up for this
That's
thing.
the homie, by the way.
Oh, super homie, yeah. And like the dude signs me up. I get signed up. They take your fingerprints. Dude, it's badass. You walk up, you scan your fingerprints. And I could see this Australian cunt in line. And like we kind of like make eye contact. And then they bring me up, and they're like, "He's TSA Clear." And they stop the line and walk me through past him to the very front of the line. Some lady's walking up, and they go, "Ma'am, wait. TSA Clear." And she goes, "Welcome, sir. Thank you. Mr. Lejean. We appreciate you." And I was just looking at him, and I was like, "Fuck you. Eat my ass, dude. Fuck you."
I just wish like the national anthem started playing behind you.
Oh, dude, it was awesome.
That's
cool. It
cool.
was so cool because I was like,
shit.
dude, this guy, I put him in his place. I got in front of him in the baggage line and then got to cut the whole line at TSA.
So you just whooped his ass.
Whooped his ass, dude. And then I went to go cancel it yesterday. And then they were like, "Hey, what if we gave you it? What if you don't have to pay till September? Would you do the free trial longer?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And I'm flying 3 times in August. So I was like, dude, perfect.
Wow.
And then I'm just canceling it in September. But dude, it's $169 a month. If I was a traveling comic that was doing road weekends, 100% buy it. Bro, you could show up at the airport 25 minutes before your flight if you had a you could walk. There's no one in the line. You cut to the front.
I always see it. Yeah.
It's so quick. I'm like, dude, I mean, not 25 minutes, but you could show up an hour early to every flight and you would totally make it through.
Yeah.
No questions asked. It'd be so easy.
That's great.
I also like that you were like super pumped that you got this guy and you murked his bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? Then you get to the plane and you're like, Fuck, middle seat. All right.
Yeah, there is that.
That is true. You did feel like a god for like 10
Yeah,
minutes.
you were
and then
king of the world for a whole second. Then you got to that middle seat and you were like, still a peasant.
Dude, the middle seat thing, I got fucked on the way back because Southwest does this bullshit thing now where they let kids in military board at the same time before Group B. So it's Group A, and then it's military, and then it's family, and then it's extra time, like people with wheelchairs. So like, bro, I'm flying back out of Long Beach on a Tuesday. Apparently, every goddamn family in the universe was flying out.
Yeah.
So, bro, like, my whole thing with Southwest, it's open seating. First off, I get on the plane. The guy in front of me takes the exit row. And I'm like, fuck, I missed it by one fucking person.
Yeah.
No way. God damn it. And so I'm bummed about that. And I start walking towards the back because I need a right side aisle seat for my knee. And all the seats look wide open. And then I get back, and the back 4 rows are just all children, bro. 3 kids in one fucking row.
Yeah.
So then I had to sit middle seat. I'm
With a kid?
B1. I'm like B12 in the boarding group, and I had to sit fucking middle seat.
Dude, I sat next to 2 kids that were like alone.
Mm-hmm.
They were what are they called? Like minors,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Vulnerable. Unattended minors.
Unattended minors. Yeah, same thing.
Dude, and I had to. I
like
sat next to
vulnerable.
these kids. Yeah, vulnerable is.
Put a vulnerable sticker on them, like the fragile ones.
It is true. It is true.
Yeah.
And I sat next to him, and this kid fucking instantly, he's 10, and he just looks at me like, "Oh, are you an unattended minor too?"
Stop.
I swear to God, this kid was hilarious. He was like unintentionally really funny kid.
Oh, so he wasn't baking your ass. He was being genuine.
He was being. That's what was made it funnier. Because
Yeah.
he was so genuine. Like, you know, like kids are just dead
He
honest.
doesn't, like, to him, you are not an adult.
No.
So you can only be a kid.
Yeah,
That's
it hit me. I
hilarious.
was like, "Fuck, that sucks."
He
Get up on
thought
your
y'all were
tippy toes.
equals. Oh
Bro,
my
he's
god.
Yeah.
That's
sat
so
up.
funny.
Oh, and
Dude,
no,
I'm not a kid. I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Yeah, Dale stood up and like started flexing on him. What are you talking about, bro? I'll beat you up.
I
You
just
see,
immediately
this is a
started-
credit card, you stupid bitch.
I immediately started laughing and like not embarrassed, but I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
What?
Yeah, and then the whole time there's like a 6-year-old next to me, and then the 10-year-old kid, the funny kid, is on the right, and I was flying. The kid in the middle is a nightmare. He's a 6-year-old kid that's just like touching me the whole time and being like, "You want to see my trucks on my phone?" And I'm like, all right, you know, like I actually had like a lot of patience that day. It was the first flight of
Yeah,
like
you
many.
fucked up. You gotta immediately just be like, no, I'm busy. Leave
I
me
know.
alone.
I just can't, because I remember me and my
Yeah.
brother used to do that too. So I was
Where
already.
is this lady's parents? They're flying what between split custody bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I remember the kid, the middle kid, I was like, "Oh, are you guys brothers?" And he was like, "Yep." And then he keeps going, and they weren't brothers at all. We got to the end of the flight, and like they walked out in front of me, and they walked to 2 separate parents. And then he was like, "Oh my God, his dad was like, "Did you make a friend?" And he was like, "Yeah, bye." So the kid just lied to me.
Damn, I like
And
when
the
kids
whole
lie.
time I'm talking to them like they're brothers, and they didn't say anything the whole time. So I'm like, "Where do you guys live?"
Dude,
and
but
they
you remember being like a young kid and like a cool older guy was like chatting with you?
But I was honest to him because I wanted him to like me. I
Oh,
would've been
see,
like,
I would lie
would
because
lie
I
too.
wanted them to like me.
I
you know?
agree.
Yeah.
Same. I was the same kid, so
I,
I
was like, I
understood.
want you to
Different
know
approaches of getting
I'm
people
going to
to
be
like.
that cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Brandon's like, honesty. Yeah.
fuck, I
Yeah,
should have done that.
that's the difference. Yeah, that's funny. That yours was no. I'll be honest, because people love honest people. I was like, no, he wants me to be a motorcycle racer when I'm 12.
Fuck, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually a pro surfer going
Yeah.
on my way to Maui.
Yeah, but dude, funny kids are it hits. You know, like when a kid is pretty funny. He was playing this game on his phone. It was like a machine gun game. I don't know what that means. They just have a game where they shoot machine
And they're
guns.
just like, but it's just a gun. It's
just
shooting.
a gun that
Bro,
shoots.
I used to have it. It's called the Gun app, and you could pick like an RPG and
Yeah.
You didn't have this. This was
No,
like,
I didn't know
was
what this
like
was.
Right when iPod shuffles came out,
Yeah,
I was still a kid.
I was an iPod kid.
But you still wanted to play kid things. So
Yeah.
we would download that, and they'd have every gun from Call of Duty, and so we'd play
Right.
guns, but with our shuffles down. I'd be like, I have a bazooka. And it'd be like,
That's
like,
exactly what he had. And
bro, I used to. I begged my parents to pay $9.99 a month for that app.
A month?
Oh my God.
Or 99 cents or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I paid because it was like you got more guns. And I was like, Mom, please, I need more fake guns.
He sat there and explained these guns to this other kid because the other kid was just bugging. He's just like, he's got like weird like that energy. He's got that energy, and so he's like trying to soothe him by showing him all his guns on his phone. And he's like, "Oh, what is that gun? What's that gun?" And he was like, "Oh, that's just a standard AR-15. Find local at your Walmart."
Pamphlet. Welcome to my timeshare.
Dead serious the whole time, like not trying to be funny. It was great. I was like,
tell me, Dalen, why can't you afford an AR-15? Is home security not of value to you?
Yeah.
Like he was hitting you with that shit.
How much is your life worth?
Dale's
How much is the safety of your family worth?
The kid was like, "Does your dad protect you too?"
Yeah, it was. He was great, dude. He was dropping facts about
you
shit.
Fucked up. You should have started asking the kids like, "Oh, you going to see your mom? Oh yeah. Why did your mom and dad leave each other?"
I guarantee he would have just been like, "Yeah, my dad was sleeping with another woman at the time."
My mom said that he stuck a wine bottle up a cocktail waitress's ass.
He's like, "My dad says fuck and my mom says bitch."
Yeah, that's great, dude. I was that made me like love kids again. Dude, my ovaries were burning when I found that kid.
What, you just want to? You just saw yourself. You're like, ooh, a kid with troubled parents. I can save him.
Yeah.
I'm about to mentor this child.
I know deep down you were sitting there when you were looking at his guns. You were like, I'm stopping this kid from becoming a stand-up comic. I am helping his trauma right now.
Yeah, I was trying to soothe his like small, fragile ego.
Yeah.
Be like, no, you are important, buddy.
You should have put the snacks on the soft spot of his head. Little airplane peanuts. Hold these for me.
Dude, I started watching Shrek in like, I actually started watching King Richard's, the Will Smith movie. I'd never seen it. And I could see the kid starting to watch, the little 6-year-old kid started to watch the movie. And he was like locked in to King Richard. I'm like, all right, he's not. There's a screen that's bigger than his. I'll just be a nice guy. So I switched to Shrek. Dude, Shrek 1. God damn it. What a good movie. Oh my God.
I'm not mad if I got to watch that.
Me neither. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, dude, it's such just a good movie.
Yeah.
That's what airplanes are meant for. I always download shit because nothing is worse than they're like, well, sorry, the Wi-Fi is down on our plane.
Yeah.
You can stare at the front of your seat if you want.
I rely on their Wi-Fi.
But I do like, it is fun if the Wi-Fi is up and I'm not super into whatever show or movie I downloaded.
Yeah.
Going on there and there's all those choices and you're like, dude, I'll watch Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking
Dude,
fun.
I've watched The Breakup with Vince Vaughn like 18 times.
Oh, I love that movie.
Classic
It's such a
classic
good one.
movie.
It makes it's like one of the best love stories because it's
also
legit.
It's also a very serious rom-com. Like, it's probably the least, like, happy rom-coms all have sad moments. You have to.
No, but it comes
But this
back.
one is kind of just mostly sad, and right? They don't get back together.
No,
at
that's
the
the
end.
part of it.
Yeah.
But like little cliffhanger, it lets your imagination run
Yeah,
wild.
they see each other at the end of the movie, and they're like,
and they're
oh,
both
shit.
like happy.
Hey,
They
yeah.
see- and they're like, you could see they grew as people. Yeah.
But then you're real, and you know that because they saw each other again. They're both happy in another relationship, but they're both toxic deep down. So they're gonna cheat on the people they're with, get back together, have 6 months of an up and down relationship before they ultimately end up breaking up and not working out.
And someone's got to split.
All right, Brandon. Well, my imagination's got sad.
Welcome to the real world.
I thought it was like Shrek. They live happily ever after. But
I honestly, dude, Shrek as a love story, I think is better than the Titanic.
beautiful, beautiful
Titanic
story.
love story
It
is
is.
whack, dude.
It's pretty whack, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Because like she could have dated the rich guy. He's small and ugly, but she went with love.
I'm
you
just
know?
thinking, like, Shrek
we're
is just
supposed
beautiful.
to feel bad that she started banging the super hot guy on the ship. Oh no, you tramp!
You tramp.
All right, I think it's time to. I got to wrap the podcast. So we're gonna end
I
on
mean,
that.
I was talking about Shrek, not Titanic.
I thought we were talking about Titanic. My bad.
That's why I was like, Shrek is hot. Like,
No, my bad. I was thinking. I'm thinking of Titanic. My bad.
Did I just get called hot? Like,
yeah, you would be a good live action Shrek for sure.
hey, don't get.
Yep, great.
Nice.
All right, guys, we got to wrap here. Here's the thing. This is a shorter episode. I got to produce things. Tomorrow, I am getting my wisdom teeth out. Yeah. So Dale is going to make some videos of me after my wisdom teeth when I'm all drugged out of my mind.
Just kind of like check in on him, like see like what kind of slurs and conspiracies he's talking about.
See, the thing is you have to be a smart director here. You have to understand that I am not gonna. I'm gonna edit this when I'm fine, and anything that's crazy, I'll have to cut.
I know.
out.
I genuinely have like been thinking about what I'm gonna ask you because at first I was gonna say, "What do you think about this?"
I bet if you're really smart,
I won't do that.
You should try and see. You should try and see if you can get me to cry. I'm sure I'll cry. I'll be so emotional on these medicines.
Oh.
Because when I get really drunk, I start telling people I love them. So it might be one of those where I might be the whole ride home. I'd be like, "Thank you for driving me. I'm so lucky to have a friend like you. I didn't think I'd find friends." And you're like, "Please stop."
Dalen, I swear to God, I'll touch it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. And then in the editing bay, you just see.
Oh shit! You just hear like, "Oh shit!" The camera.
Dude, I promise it'll make you feel better.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Whether this is your first time or your 155th time, we appreciate you. Most importantly, thank you for letting us be your last resort. See ya.
Yeah, check it out now. It's like this Shaw, it's like that Anna. It's like this Shaw, it's like that Anna, like that. Check it out now, check it out. Yo, this one right here is about a girl. And you've seen this girl before if you've been to any club in the whole wide world. Check it out. Her nickname's Last Resort.